And as far as Piper and I having this big elaborate plan, I'm not the smartest person in the world for sure, but I feel like it would have gone just a little bit better than it did if we had this plan.
Brendan just released an apology video addressing his behavior in paradise. Hey guys, we are back with another Bachelor Nation update. We have all the details on Brendan's apology video, but before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Alright, so now that Brendan's time in paradise has officially come to an end and he's lost somewhere around 100,000 followers, he thought it was time to make an apology video addressing his actions in paradise. Brendan explained that he was making the video to provide clarity and started it off with an apology to Natasha. He apologized for hurting her and complimented her kind and gentle spirit, but he did reiterate once again that there was not a romantic spark between them.
I enjoyed your sweet, soft, kind nature, your gentle spirit. That's something I'm really drawn to. And you know, we didn't have that romantic spark that's imperative for a relationship to really grow. Just knowing you for a handful of days, I never could have imagined the heartbreak that I caused you, and I'm very sorry for that.
He went on to explain again that he and Piper were not in an exclusive relationship before paradise, saying that he never asked her to be his girlfriend, but revealing that after spending time together, he did tell her he would love for her to go to paradise.
I don't know how else to explain this. I don't know how else to articulate this. Piper and I were not in an exclusive relationship. I never asked her to be my girlfriend. You know, yes, we went out to eat. Yes, we hung out in group settings. I absolutely thought she was beautiful and smart and funny. And I told her straight up, I would love to see you in paradise. If you could go, that would be amazing. And she didn't know if she could go. She didn't know if she wanted to go. And I absolutely went to paradise a single man.
One of the reasons fans and of course their fellow contestants were so frustrated with them this season is because one of the only rules of paradise is that you're supposed to come open to finding love. And now Brendan is claiming that if he had been swept off his feet, he would have pursued a relationship with that person in paradise.
And I know this is hard for a lot of people to believe, but if I met a female that swept me off my feet, I would have absolutely pursued that. And that's just the fact of the matter.
He also added that the narrative that he and Piper had some sort of master plan is totally false, explaining that had they come up with some sort of plan, he thinks it would have gone better than this played out.
And as far as Piper and I having this big elaborate plan, I'm not the smartest person in the world for sure, but I feel like it would have gone just a little bit better than it did if we had this plan. You know, and of course it went horrible in every way.
He went on to address some of the specific things he said to and about Natasha, apologizing and saying he behaved rudely and immaturely. He first addressed his no prospects comment.
You know, there's a bunch of things that I said to Natasha, said about Natasha, that I really need to apologize for. You know, saying Natasha didn't have any prospects, very immature of me to say, very rude of me to say. My point was Natasha didn't have any other guys talking to her and she wasn't talking to any other guys, and I had no prospects as well. I wasn't talking to any other girls and other girls weren't talking to me, and I know that's no prospect sounds mean, and I worded that wrong. I did not mean it that she's not a beautiful, amazing person that a number of guys would pursue. So Natasha, I apologize for that. And
then addressed calling her annoying.
Me mentioning that Natasha was getting annoying again, super immature of me, super uncalled for. To explain that, I thought I was being clear in the way I felt about her, saying that there was something missing, there was that romantic aspect missing, and me trying to slowly pull away from her, and I was getting frustrated because I didn't think her and I were on the same page, and clearly we weren't, and that's my mistake.
He went on to explain that his relationships with both Natasha and Piper have taught him that he really needs to work on his communication.
As far as Natasha goes and Piper goes, I am communicating in a way that I think someone can understand, but that's not the case. And I try to sugarcoat things. I try to say things in a way that won't hurt anyone's feelings, but in turn I make the matter way worse. I hurt people, and clearly Piper and I weren't on the same page. There was a disconnect there, and that is my fault. That is my fault. I am not communicating in a proper way. Natasha and I, of course, that's my fault. I am not communicating in the way that I need to. I'm saying one thing, and it's being received as something else, and I need to be concerned with how it's being received and react accordingly.
We heard Brendan and Piper discussing followers multiple times in Paradise, which of course is a huge no-go in Bachelor Nation. And now Brendan is saying he simply did not go to Paradise with the goal of gaining more followers.
And quickly to talk about the follower narrative, that I want followers and all that stuff. It's just not the case. I wanted to be on the beach, get a month with a beautiful person, and get to know them more in the beaches of Mexico, and spend 20 plus hours a day with them, and potentially fall in love. If I wanted the max amount of followers, I would not have pursued Piper or Natasha. I would have went after a girl with 1 million followers.
He also commented on his fellow contestants, accusing them of just wanting to be on TV.
And, you know, everyone's saying I'm there for TV and all that stuff is just ironic and silly, you know, as they're mic'd up and in an interview with a camera in their face saying that I'm there for TV, but fully understanding that they're speaking to a camera that's going to air their words on TV. You know, we all know we're going to be on TV, and you know, it's a TV show, so we have a good understanding of that.
Brendan wrapped up his video by apologizing to Natasha for leading her on. He called her a beautiful person and said he feels bad for, quote, tarnishing her experience in Paradise. He explained that he is not looking for forgiveness or to clear his name. He's just acknowledging where he went wrong and says he wants to work on himself as a man.
But most importantly, Natasha, I never meant to lead you on, and I'm very, very sorry for that. And you're an amazing, beautiful person who deserves amazing things in life. And the fact that I tarnished your experience in Paradise is something that I feel awful about. And, you know, I only thing I can do at this particular moment is apologize, is to acknowledge where I went wrong, and I went wrong in so many different ways, with you, Natasha, with Piper, and even the other girls on the beach. You know, I'm not looking for anyone to forgive me or to clear my name. I just want everyone to know that I am acknowledging where I went wrong, and I need to continue to work on myself as a man and learn and try to be a better person. And I know that I'm a good person. I know I'm a good man, but I need to continue to grow. And that's that.
Since releasing the apology video, Brendan has received mixed feedback from Bachelor Nation. Some fans believe that the video was sincere, while others think it's just an effort to save face and that it still missed the mark. We, of course, want to know your thoughts, so let us know how you're feeling about Brendan now that he has released this apology down in the comments. And if you guys are not already subscribed to our channel, make sure you do. Make sure you ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future Bachelor updates. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring. You can check out my socials at Fiona Zaring, and we'll see you guys next time.